Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another session of Let's Get Technical. I am Kavita Agrawal, the founder of EXP-Invest, and we are here today to discuss specifically the chart of JSW Steel. Why JSW Steel? Because it has been in news recently, and I have been receiving a lot of inquiry requests for this stock. And when I studied the chart, I saw there were a lot of interesting developments, which I believe could benefit a lot more people than just the ones asking for its query. So, why is JSW Steel also in the news recently? Because it has acquired a company called NSL. I think it's called Clean Energies or Clean something. Let me just look at it. It's escaping my mind. What this company basically does is the acquired company, it recycles steel scraps. And JSW Steel, what matters really is that the company has acquired this smaller company to reduce its carbon footprints. It intends to generate or create or build or manufacture steel using steel scrap, and that is the whole reason why it has acquired this new company. And naturally there are things which are already visible on the charts. The underlying trend has already been bullish. So now let's go on to the charts and quickly take a look at what are the different time frames saying, and depending on the developments, what should be our next move. After I'm done discussing the chart of JSW Steel, I will be looking at the comments and helping you out with your stock queries. So please don't forget to drop the name of the stock and the buying price for the stocks which you are currently stuck in, and I'll be more than happy to help you out with them. All right, so this is the JSW Steel chart, and as you can see, I have the 15-minute time frame open. I'm going to quickly make this full screen so that you can get a bigger, better view. Right now on my chart, I have already drawn the trend lines, and if you've attended my previous sessions, you know that I use the cloning method of trend lines, where I basically use the largest available time frame and the broadest available price action to draw the primary trend lines and then start cloning them. This basically is a concept which has been covered in details in my advanced technical analysis program, which is ongoing right now. So after this session, I'll be sharing more information about my advanced technical analysis program if you're interested in that. Okay, so here's what's going on in the charts. First, let's take a look at the broader time frame, which is daily. Okay, actually, let's start with the weekly time frame. So the weekly time frame here is not telling us a lot, except for the fact that the stock of JSW Steel has been in a very steady uptrend. Okay, now since the 21st of May, it had forged a bit of a double bottom or double top, you could have said, or actually quadruple top, which actually is not even a top. It is just a consolidation phase. It was just a horizontal resistance zone, right? But recently the stock has given a breakout. How recently? Since the July of 23, it has gone above that resistance zone. Okay, what stands out on the weekly time frame? There are two things that stand out. Number one is that JSW Steel has gone above this horizontal zone, resistance zone, and it has done so with good volumes, which is good news. Okay, so we have the context here. Now let's take a look at the daily time frame. Now, what the daily time frame basically telling us is that number one, there is a strong resistance trend line right here at JSW Steel. In response to that resistance trend line, another negative factor which developed on the daily time frame is this negative divergence, RSI negative divergence. So we have one positive from the weekly and two negatives from the daily chart right now. Okay. Also following that correction, also following that trend line resistance, what we can also see here is that the prices, right, after the prices peaked on 10th of August, somewhere around the price of 834. What is very interesting is that the prices declined, right, which kind of responded to the negative divergence, or rather fulfilled the negative divergence which are formed here, because we know that when a negative divergence appears, then wherever is the base of that negative divergence, right? So for instance, this negative divergence started at this price here, okay, this peak here. So this essentially becomes the this essentially becomes the target. Okay, and we can see that this week itself the price of JSW Steel has retested that same target level for the second time. So that is a positive. So we have two negatives and one positive, and actually one of the negatives, the RSI negative divergence, I think it has been negated, it has been fulfilled, so there is nothing to worry about there. Moving one step lower to the 75-minute time frame, what do we see here? We see firstly that JSW Steel is in the bullish range on the RSI, which means that the stock may be taking a bit of a breather, but the underlying trend continues to be pretty strong. Now, if you remember, all the way up till I think the end of July, metal stocks were all the rage, right? Everybody was talking about metal stocks and everybody wanted to invest in metal stocks. But what happened was between August and September, metal stocks went into consolidation, which is again a very natural behavior for a sector which has been giving such a strong rally for a while. Now, this has been a disappointment. In fact, I've had a lot of retail traders coming to me and asking continuously about metal sectors. And this is the thing about sector rotation, that if you don't keep an eye out for the sectors which are coming into momentum, you will stay stuck in the sectors which have gotten out of momentum. Okay. I am a swing trader predominantly, and I always make sure that I am keeping an eye on how the sectors perform, so that my money and my clients' money is always invested in the best and fastest moving sectors at all point of time. Now, JSW Steel here, what we can see again on the 75-minute time frame is that the price or the RSI has come down and taken touched the level of 30, and it has started to go up. It is a little premature yet, but we can see some sort of support forming. The most interesting analysis actually comes from the volumes. So what the volume is suggesting, now you might be thinking, what kind of a volume chart is this? This is actually the MACD of the volume, which has been built on the basis of the daily time frame. Again, the details of how I build this is too lengthy, and it is again something that I'm covering in details in my advanced technical analysis program, right? But what this volume histogram is telling us right now is that the volume was pretty high. The volume was showing a strong pickup every time the price of JSW Steel was rising, right? And every time the price of JSW Steel has been declining, for instance here, for instance here, for instance here, the volume has really dried up compared to the last 100 days volume. Okay, so this is a very significant indication which we are getting. Why 100 days? Because I'm a swing trader and I like to take positions for a period of anywhere between 2 weeks to 3-4 months, maybe, right? So if I'm to take positions for 3-4 months, that means I want to participate in stocks where the volume is on the rise versus the last 3 months average. And what I'm seeing on JSW Steel, that every time there is a pickup in price, there is also a massive pickup in volumes versus the last 3 months average volume. Okay, right now the volume is declining while the price is declining, and the price is at support. So now what I will do is I'm going to set an alert on my volumes, and I want to know if the volume crosses 3.5k, right? So I'm going to do that once per bar. When it does that consistently, that will be a signal for me that it's time to start buying. For instance, if you see here, right, here JSW Steel gave a 6% upside in a matter of just 12 days. But this was again a very small upside with resistance and a negative divergence in play. What I am expecting in JSW Steel is that once it starts moving up, it's also taking support at the 100 EMA here. Once it starts moving up, my expectation is that it will go up to retest this other trend line which lies right above. Let's reset the chart. And here you can see that the underlying trend is very, very bullish. And this consolidation is in a way kind of a correction that the stock is undergoing, which is nothing to worry about. It's a very normal phenomena. If you look at this bull trend which started since 2020, it was a pretty strong bull trend because the stock went up nearly 4.5x in just over a year. Okay, so it is completely normal that the stock took a 2-year breather or a 2-year consolidation with a maximum range of 30%. Okay, now the stock has given the first signal that it is ready to move up. It has given a breakout with good volumes and it has come back or given a pullback to the support zone. So the reason why I've done such a lengthy analysis on JSW Steel basis the charts is because there is a strong fundamental catalyst, as you may say, in this stock. And the metal sector, as we know, has, a lot of reasons to grow given the Indian growth story right now. On the 15-minute time frame is where a very, very strong positive indication comes. On the 15-minute time frame, I can see a strong positive divergence here, and we can see the volume analysis in a bit more detailed manner. In the 15-minute time frame, also we are analyzing the same slow. So for the MACD histogram that you're seeing, we are still referring to the 100-day average of the daily time frame and the fast moving line of the fast moving signal of 20 days as per the daily time frame, even on the 15. And again, how I set that up is going to be part of my course, but it's actually not a course, it's a training program because I take that live, right? But what it shows is very interesting. These green segments that you're seeing, right, what they suggest is that whenever the price takes a little bit of an upside, okay, there is clearly a volume pickup even on the 15-minute time frame. And when this consistently happens, this is often seen as an early signal of reversal in the stock. So now that we've established that JSW Steel is prepping itself for a reversal and it is right now testing a major support zone, a support zone which has proved itself on multiple fronts, right? We need to ask the question, what is the trade setup? What is the stop loss? What is the target? Because if you're entering any stock in swing for with the intention of swing trading in it, then you have to make sure that you're along with the entry, you know exactly what you will do if the market goes against you and if the market goes in your favor, which means having an exit strategy, right? This is the entire mindset. This is the proper psychology with which I also approach swing trading for my members through the Trade Together program. The Trade Together program is another flagship offering of mine in which I help retail traders make right bets in the stock market with respect to swing trading in stocks where the momentum is ready to come. For instance, in the last few weeks, I gave a recommendation on Lalpat Labs. Even in a bearish market, the stock went up over 17% in a matter of just 20 days. Right now, if you're interested in knowing more about these programs, which I'm telling you, the best way to connect with me and to know more about my offerings is by joining my Telegram channel. For your convenience, I'm going to drop the link in the comments. Or if you use Telegram, all you have to do is go to search and write EXP-Invest IN and hit enter. The moment you hit enter, you will be redirected to my Telegram channel, and then all you have to do is click on join, right? Great. So JSW Steel, what is the best stop loss to set at this point of time, right? Whenever we talk about swing trading, right, we are looking for higher highs and higher lows. So at any point of time, the primary time frame that you want to trade, right? Now, this is a very important concept. The primary time frame that you want to trade, you have to make sure that your stop loss is never above the previous swing low, right? So in this 75-minute time frame, if you see, so 75-minute time frame is a time frame that I use to trade in the Indian equity market because it's a lot cleaner than the hourly time frame. And what I can see here is that the last swing was basically, this was one swing of 14% which took 28 days, and this was the next swing which took around 44 days and 12%. This was the very previous swing high formed. Okay, because this high has not been breached yet, I will not consider this part of the price action as a price swing in itself. Okay, a lot of people make the mistake of taking the previous low, not the previous swing low, and as a result they get stopped out right before the momentum is about to set in. So for the sake of this position, this stock, we are going to take the stop loss at the level of 736 with a target at a level of 950, right? So this is the setup, and this is the setup that I'll also be sharing with my members in the Trade Together program. One more thing that I want to emphasize while we are still connected is that knowing the name of a stock and the price to buy at is not enough to make money in the stock. You have to know how to manage your position. When I say how to manage your position, I am talking about trailing your stop losses and making sure that you plan your exit ahead of the curve. Now, nothing in the stock market is constant. The problem is that everything is dynamic, okay? And when everything is dynamic, your position management, your portfolio monitoring has to be very strong. And unless you're doing it full time, you cannot do full justice to it. That's why you need to be associated with an analyst who is SEBI registered, qualified, has the right education to help you out, right? And the entire idea of my the entire idea of my Trade Together program is to make such high quality service available to retail traders at a very nominal cost. Okay. So anyway, coming back, this is all I had to share with you on JSW Steel. Now what we will do is we will take a look at the comments and we will resolve your stock queries. Let's move to the comments. All right. We'll wait for the comments to load. All right, we have the comments open. All right, so Mihir Mahajan is asking for Maharashtra Seamless and he wants me to suggest a buy price for him. Okay, let's go Maharashtra. Maharashtra. I have never studied this stock honestly, and this is also one of the reasons I really enjoy doing these Q&A sessions with the audience. Helps me come across new stocks. You know, once in a while, I also find good stocks in these sessions. All right, let's see Maharashtra. I hope I'm looking at the right stock. Seamless. It looks correct. Okay. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to also share my screen so that you can look at the screen while I do the analysis. Right? Okay, great. Okay, so let's move on to the weekly time frame because we have to draw our trend lines. And kind of difficult to draw a trend line in a stock like this. I'm going to make this a little normalized. There you go. Okay, so what I can see is that the stock has given a breakout sort of beyond the trend line that we have just drawn. But the problem is that I'm not seeing a very good volume pickup here, you know, and that is the reason why I would not trust the breakout for a very long time. Now, the volume also that I'm seeing, okay, the volume pickup suggests trend continuation. But that being said, from what I'm seeing, the stock is already rallied nearly 100% in the last 1 year without giving any real pause or correction. And that worries me. So at this point of time, I would not recommend a fresh position in Maharashtra Seamless because remember, the goal in trading in the stock market is always to enter before the rally, not after the rally. Okay, entering a stock after the rally is as good as chasing a train. There is a huge risk that you're going to fall down and injure yourself. It's better to be patient and wait for the either the same train to come back to a proper entry level or a station, or you wait for another stock to give you the opportunity to come on board. So my friend, Maharashtra Seamless is a no-go at the moment. I do hope you will join the Telegram channel and give a thumbs up to this live stream. All right. So Rishabh is asking for Vedal. So I don't even need to look at the charts for Vedal. Rishabh, I have a strong sell recommendation on the stock because it looks very weak And I am expecting maybe a dead cat bounce to come, which may give you an upside of 7 to 10%. If that happens, I would suggest you exit. If you don't have a position, then I would strongly recommend you to please not get into the stock right now. There are a lot of corporate governance issues in the stock, and even technically, the stock looks really, really weak. All right, moving on. NSW Steel. Vishwa has been holding since 350 rupees. NSW Steel. I think he probably means JSW Steel, and N is probably a um error. So JSW Steel has already been discussed in great details. So we'll move on to the next stock. All right, let's see. Um, Inox Wind for Mr. Durjaya Saraf. Inox Wind is bought at 216. Okay, Inox Wind 216. Can I hold or should I sell? If hold, then what price should I hold at? 216. Which means your position is currently in loss. 9% is a significant loss. Okay, so I would suggest, see, the trend is pretty strong, so the stock is taking a little bit of a breather, which is fine. The good news is that the volume, what it is suggesting is the volume has been declining significantly since, the more the price gets drawn out. And as the price also stays engaged in the sideways consolidation, there is intermittent pickup whenever the price gives a little bit of a jump, right? Which again is a suggestion that a bottom may be forming, a near term bottom may be forming. In consideration of this, again, I will suggest you please maintain a trailing stop loss of 181 and continue to hold the stock. The only problem is that giving you a target will not be possible, because of the stock's movement and because of the momentum with which the stock is moving. Let's still try. If we draw these trend lines, right? Okay, so I will, I think, be able to give you a a target also on the basis of the trend lines that I'm drawing. And there are a lot of skeptics who really question this method of drawing trend lines. And see, nothing is foolproof or fail proof in the stock market. But this method of drawing trend line is something that I've come across after 12 years of my practice in the market, and I have seen that sticking to just one single trend line in the direction of the primary trend of any stock has improved the quality of my analysis output significantly. Okay, so for the near term, the target on Inox Wind for you is around 250. Okay, so basically with a stop loss of around 6% from the current market price, right? So stop loss of 182 and a target of 250. The risk reward ratio right now is pretty good. However, I would not recommend you to sell the stock if 250 comes, because if the momentum resumes, then we can expect a strong upside here. But then there is one more threat. See, one look at the chart of Inox Wind, and I can see that if the stock goes into correction, right, there is a chance that it will take a pretty hefty correction. Okay, you don't want to be stuck in the stock if it starts taking a massive correction. So that is the reason it is very important that you maintain the stop loss of 182. And if the level gets breached, then I would expect the stock to take a very nice around 25-30% decline. Okay, you don't want to subject your capital to that. All right, moving on, we have Manish Joshi who's asking about Granules India for fresh entry. See, guys, asking about stocks for fresh entry is good. I'm very happy to help you out. But if you don't manage your position with expertise, you will not be able to succeed. So I will strongly recommend that you join the Telegram channel and let's explore whether the Trade Together program is a good fit for you or not. You can talk to me, you can talk to my associate. But again, swing trading without proper expertise, without proper assistance, proper system can be very dangerous for your capital. But if done with a proper system, if done with a proper assistance, it can be very, very beneficial, as we have seen for our members repeatedly in the Trade Together program. Okay. So granules, what I'm seeing is that again, it's a missed train. It's already given a sort of a strong move, right? And also granules is a stock which has a tendency to constantly revert back to its mean. So if you want to purchase this stock, I will suggest you wait for some time, let it come back to the 200 EMA on the daily time frame, and then you start accumulating it. I don't think it is going to go very far away. Also because there is a strong resistance near the level of 380. Okay, there are multiple resistances, so I don't see the stock going beyond that level. So even if anybody else has a long position, it would be a good idea for you to consider exiting the stock. Okay. All right. So with that, we've come to an end of today's live session. Unfortunately, I have an alternative commitment, another commitment at 5 o'clock. So I'm going to have to take your leave. But if you've asked questions and have not been able to respond to your queries, then please join my Telegram channel and make it a point to drop a comment on any message. And as soon as I get free, I promise I will respond to your stock queries with a detailed analysis, just like I'm doing in the live session. I will see you again tomorrow, same time, 4:30 p.m. I will come with a new stock and I will also have more time for Q&A. So I hope you will grace, uh, give me the pleasure of your presence in the audience. Thank you so much for giving me your time and attention today. Namaste.